here. This is Wollongong Camera Club. I'm Brian Harvey, life member.
Oh, we come from Milton. We're in the Milton Ulladulla Videography Club. I'm Howard and I used to live in Sydney.
My business is Wollongong Images.
Hi there, my name is David and welcome to my channel. Today I've been asked to talk to you about content creation for a digital age.
And she's gone on to produce and direct more movies since. There's another one that's now out, Riptide, you may have heard of. It's also got a third place in the Sydney Film Festival. And so she's doing wonderful things.
I basically got together with a group of friends, my sister, my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband. That's a real test to make a film and see if you can stay together. So got together with a group of my friends and wrote the script and then basically employed all of this free labour, really. So we, Scott Lee and Rebecca Montalti, who you see at the top. Scott Lee has now gone on to become, he's one of the main characters on Home and Away, and he's doing really, really well, and he's off in Hollywood and doing all sorts of things. And pretty much all the actors in the film had never acted before, and since we've made the film, they've all gone on to have begin their careers in acting, including my sister, who did all the costumes. She's now gone on to continue with costume design. The guy my friend who did some of the sound with me, he's gone on to do audio engineering. So it was very much a formative project for us. We got to we had an inkling that we wanted to do this kind of thing, had no idea what we were doing, had never done it before, tried it out, and it just sort of turned out really well that we all loved what we did, and we've now continued to keep going. We went down to the Nuns Pool, which I think might be so the Nuns Pool down bottom left. We filmed on the disused train line out at the back of Dapto. It's near a cemetery, someone probably knows what that's called, but filmed along there. I was a little nervous because I was just checking that trains weren't going to come. But there was just the thing that I was so taken by is how versatile this area is, and there are so many incredible locations. And I work in Sydney and I work with people who are predominantly from Sydney, and a lot of them are surprised when they find out that Ambrosia was filmed down in Wollongong. I'm like, well, you clearly haven't been down here because it's beautiful. We also filmed up in the Southern Highlands a little bit as well. Music was my passion, and I'd studied music at the Conservatorium of Music in Wollongong, and that was sort of what I knew and what I was good at, I guess. So I went off to do a Bachelor of Music and loved it. But as I was catching the train from Thirroul to Central, I started sort of concocting this story, and I thought initially I was going to write a novel. Little did I know that making a film is probably even worse. And so I basically, I wrote from what I knew. And, when I was 13, I fell off my horse. I had a horse down at the back of sort of Dapto down there, and I fell off my horse and I was left with chronic pain. So I was basically at this stage an 18-year-old, 19-year-old with chronic pain, and it was something that I was, kind of struggling with, I guess. And so I started writing this story about a young girl who had chronic pain, and that is basically what turned into my first feature film. So this is the movie poster for it. It's called Ambrosia, and it's a full feature, and we were very lucky to actually have it released in cinemas around Australia. A small release, but still a release nonetheless, in cinemas. So Ambrosia is really about a young girl who has chronic pain. She travels home to her family home with her friends, and she meets this stranger on the beach. And this stranger basically makes her way into their lives and makes her way into her friendships.
I'm India. I'm Harriet. Harry, this is Fran and Theodore.
Nice to meet you.
She's mysterious.
Do you ever think about it?
I always think about the girl in the other car. The reality that she died and I didn't.
I can see into the future.
I think I should just tell you. I feel like everything's gonna change.
I don't want anything to change.
It frightens me.
What are you frightened of?
Someday I'll drive him away.
You're strong and kind and beautiful.
You don't have to. Now, Paul's already spoken, and as you all know by now, you know me, you might not know him. I'm from the Sydney Club, very pushy, taking photos and all that stuff. But look, I gave up not going to my nephew's baby's first birthday, and he's quite upset with me. But look, it was worth coming here, I've got to say. I met some nice people. I've spoken to some of you already, and I've spoken to quite a lot of people in New South Wales. We're all in the same boat together. And when Tom talked to me about us having the same kind of thing that you've got here, where you get together, everybody does, I said to him that's already in the books. So Paul agrees that it's a good idea, so it probably will happen. I hope it does. But I just wanted to say to Wollongong, you did a good job. The food was good. The price was good. And the people that were here, the nice people, which is you. So you all deserve a clap.
That's right. Well, it's a pleasure to have you down. We're all, when we get together as a group of 30, 35 people, we can all share our experiences and some of our hot tips this afternoon, some of the things we do, and just see what we can do to encourage the video making group in New South Wales.